By traveling.
Yes, there's not been any increase so far. Maybe next week, but I don't know. But for now, there's not any increase. I think it's the same price since last year to this year.
We are traveling to go and see our relatives and marry together.
Well, it's the same thing, but it's just like traffic is really terrible. I mean, everybody's going outside, so traffic is massive, but the transport fare still remains the same.
There's been activity on the road, a lot of activity. I've not experienced this kind of traffic in a while. Well, I don't go out every day, so this is quite strange to me.
The joy of it all is that roads are busy, some do night journeys, and there are more spots to be cautioned with. Statistics reveal that this is also the period when deaths are recorded in accidents on the highway. Same with accidents and injuries, because many of the drivers drive recklessly. Some rush to do more than one trip to cash on the advantage to make more money.
A lot of our people, for many reasons, because of the stress and the nature of their job, some of them tend to take hard drugs so that they can be able to work extra. And by the time they take these hard drugs, it makes them to misbehave. Also, unnecessary haste. People want to meet up time, and they do not want to consider those on the roads.
Christmas is coming. Drivers, we want to make money. You want to fly Lagos to Ibadan, Ibadan to Lagos, maybe 10 times a day. So, out of anxiety, out of overzealousness, there is a mad rush. If you want to travel, travel at the early time, get to where you are going, your destination, early enough, take your rest. Don't keep late night. So drivers, be careful. Don't drink. Authorities, be on the road. Protect them and discipline those who are erring offenders. Catch them, keep them, be fair to them.
For the FRSC, this is the period they are more alert. Many of their officials are on duty to apprehend or even rescue accident victims.
It is not only December that we have special operations. We have special operations for Salah, for Easter, and the rest of it. So we'll continue. It's a continuous process. FRSC Public Enlightenment is not a one-time off activities. It is meant to continue. So we are going to continue the exercise.
What people should expect from us is our readiness, our level of preparedness. What you are seeing is that we are trying to test ground to see how extent to which we are prepared to respond to any emergency situations.
Unfortunately, we have many dangerous spots now on the highway. A look at Ibadan-Ife Road, Ibadan-Lagos Road, and even Ibadan-Ilorin Road. Some are under rehabilitation, yet to be completed.
The Ibadan end, which is RCC section, which I'm speaking about, is a 57% completion at time lapse of 85%. So, which means the work will be completed in 2022, as I've said earlier, and a little time, that's about 15% more time is required to finish the work. And the rate at which government is committed to this work, I can't see it going beyond that time.
There are good, bad, and ugly sides of this Yuletide period on the highway. All the concerned, particularly the drivers, must be careful, cautious, and drive with sense. No wrongful overtaking, no overspeeding, and no usage of telephone while driving. The highest of it all, don't drink while or before driving. Someone said it is better to be late than be the late. Yet 2022 is just around the corner. Let's all be part of the people that will wish or will say Happy New Year.
That's right, Peju. It is better to be delayed than be late. For all to enjoy the reason for the season, it will be good if all follow the road rules and avert accidents. Lagos State is our next drive, and no doubt all bags are packed, waiting to move or already on the road, heading out of the center of excellence. Some might not travel out of the city, but will definitely move around, as the Owambe must go on. How safety conscious are the road users, and how busy are the roads this time around?
It's that time of the year that residents of Lagos, the economic nerve center of the country, travels far and near to reunite with families and friends in commemoration of the festive season. The hustle and bustle of social and economic activities within the metropolis is heightened during this period as compared to other months of the year. How busy are the roads due to the rush at this season?
This period of the year used to witness a lot of traffic because of the movement of people here and there to witness the festivities that are lined up, be it Christmas and New Year celebration. So people travel a lot in and out of Lagos, so much so that Lagos-Ibadan used to experience a lot of traffic flow within this period. And we are always prepared for this time of the year because we know the volume of traffic.
The road is always busy if you are a traveler. It's not just the festive period alone.
It's a time people move here and there. Even in the daytime, everywhere is busy. In the night, it's busy. But I will tell you that night journey is better than day journey because these days, not everybody wants to travel in the night. Majority of the people travel in the daytime because they feel that they will be harmed when they travel in the night. But I'm telling you that even the people, the terrorists, the men of underworld will fear. Themselves always fear because they don't know what is on the road.
Stakeholders and road users speak on safety measures when traveling before and after the festivities.
Traveling in the night is a bit safer, if not the situation of our country. Had it been our country is safe, the best time to travel is in the night. Because when you are traveling on the night, you will see that the hold-up we witness in the day is not in the night. If I travel in the day and anything wants to happen, it will happen. And if I travel in the night, anything wants to happen, it will happen. I commit my journey in the hands of God because it is only God that can grant my safety.
For me, I travel in the night because I feel it's safer, it's calmer. Everywhere is so quiet. So it's easy for me to travel. On daytime, you know where there's potholes, bang, bang, boom, boom, boom. Everybody, the depression. So everybody is on each other. And so you are about to quarrel, you are about to fight. But in the daytime, in the night, it's calm, it's quiet, and you are traveling at your own pace. And so everybody is security conscious.
We take them well to normal decision. This Jibo, Siena, and some registration and some not registration, but we are going well.
We all know the nature of this season, and what is expected of road users is to do the right thing. First and foremost, let's start from the drivers. They should ensure that the right drivers are driving with sane mind. Because these days you see every Dick and Harry carrying buses or vehicles in the bid of making money. So the first thing is our regulatory agencies, they should be up to the game now to ensure that the right persons are driving. If not, you have a lot of insane people driving vehicles on the street and without even having driver's license. And nobody cares to check them. There are institutions that are set up for that purpose, for ensuring that the road safety is guaranteed. But first and foremost, the traffic agents. We ensure that all our traffic agents are up and doing so that to clear the roads. And like I said, it's everybody's duty to ensure the road is safe for all of us.
More personnel of the Federal Road Safety, our ambulances have been activated. We make sure that even we have what we refer to as intervention squad of the motorbikes that we have instead of vehicles, because we discovered in the past when an accident occurs or when there's an obstruction on the road, we find it difficult to meet at the scene because of the volume of traffic of vehicles that have already been on the road. So because of that, we are able to make sure that we have power bikes that will be able to move quickly to the scene of the accident or the scene of the obstruction, to be able to remove or to attend, to give prompt attention to the accident victims and to remove obstruction in order to restore the free flow of traffic within the shortest possible time.
As the festive season is here, caution must be taken to ensure that individuals and groups remain safe and injury-free throughout the season.
It is necessary for all hands to be on deck and make our roads safe so travelers can have an accident-free travel. In Port Harcourt, Francis and Son is on the road and in the motor parks to see the situation there as regards the season. Francis, the roads must be busy.
This is Port Harcourt, the capital city of Rivers State. Of course, it is the festive season. We are in one of the parks here in Port Harcourt, the Rumokoro Park, to ascertain the safety measures put in place to ensure that travelers who are using the park arrive at their destination safely. So we are going to talk to a few persons and of course the officials manning this park to know those measures that are rightfully being put in place. How prepared are you for the Christmas festivities and how are you able to keep your passengers who use this park safe? What safety measures do you put in place?
Okay, the major thing is the park, we try our best. As they try our best, we don't get problem. All the passengers, we work for them peacefully.
For me, I don't like night traveling, but sometimes when situation warrants, we go by night. But then I prefer the morning traveling than the night, because the morning hours you can see where you are going, but in the night every place is dark, so it is sometimes difficult and it can cause whole accidents. Sometimes it is good that the government should organize, maybe the federal road safety should organize seminars for drivers on how to drive passengers safely, mostly especially this period that we are getting to the festive periods, in order to educate them so that they will know on how to take those they are carrying, because life is very, very important. You have only one life. If there is a mistake, the life is gone. We cannot retrieve it again.
Every Yuletide season, you see a lot of traffic on the highway. So I would advise people that if they want to travel, they should ensure that, particularly drivers, commercial drivers, they should avoid taking anything alcohol or be alcoholic, however it is. They should avoid taking anything alcoholic and then have enough sleep. If they're going to a far distance journey, they should take enough sleep so that at the end of the day, they will now take people safe and in one piece to their various destinations. And for commuters too, it's not only on December you need to travel. You can travel on any other day, not just on this day, so that there will be less traffic on the road.
I'm encouraging the government of Rivers State. The way that he built the park is very nice, one. And the way that people are managing it is also nice.
Everything now depends on our road users. You understand? Government are doing their best. Then the road users also should also be careful. You understand? Because this season, everybody now wants to travel. So they have to be very careful on the way they apply on our road.
It is imperative that road users uphold to safety protocols in order to arrive at their destination safely. How prepared are the officials of this park to ensure that commuters or road users who are ready to travel in and out of Rivers State are safe?
The issue of loading from the park, like mine here, it is a matter that you must follow to the rules and regulations of the loading. if passengers are to be 10 in number, it cannot exceed that. And it is, if it is a vehicle that if you enter you must belt, you must belt. So these are the areas, the things we are doing to control the traffic measures of the roads, to control the loading aspect of the road, and also to convey the passengers and their goods to where they are also a proper delivering package is being done. The only thing I think I have to advise is the drivers, because during the festive time, some people, you see them putting all sorts of things on the road, burning tires. This is where I will now advise drivers. I'm now advising the drivers to be cautious of the roads, better than on the speeding. And so it's time when people also hurry up to go to their areas and enjoy Christmas under this festival. So they also are very conscious of what is happening today by trying to ensure that we don't stay on a danger zone. And I'm advising that people should also be conscious of the festive so that it can also carry them away.
Are traveling to, please, in case of emergency on the road, or you see where there's crash on the road, don't fail to call our emergency toll-free number 122. Indicate the location of the place where you are calling from. You know, we have this 5 minutes response time. Please maintain your vehicles. Before you go anywhere, before you start any of your journeys, make sure you check your vehicles, check the tires, check whether the essential things in a vehicle that they are there, because it's very, very important. In case of emergency, it's better you don't travel at night. Why? You might not receive help in case of emergency. But if it happens in the daytime like this, you will receive help everywhere. People will come to your rescue. But at night, it's very difficult. And if someone is bleeding, you might not get help. That is why road safety is advising that you should not travel at night.
Well, that's how much we can take from Port Harcourt. Over to Fatima for the rest of the program.
Remember, your loved ones may just be in the car before or after you. As you drive to protect them. This concludes the episode this week. Until the next episode, I am Fatima Umar. Remember to be good on the road so the road can be good to you. Drive to live. Bye-bye.
They told me, a newborn king to see, our finest gifts we bring,
Welcome to Abuja, the place that unites Nigeria.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Hello and welcome to Health Options. A member of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 had at a forum stated that one of the reasons why COVID-19 and the emergence of variants of concern such as Delta and Omicron is the promotion of vaccine nationalism, which refers to the pervasive inequality at global level that enables such countries to procure vaccines for their own citizens with direct agreements with pharmaceutical companies, while the low and middle countries are left behind. On the other hand, they are unable to act at a quick pace as the rich countries secure the qualities of the vaccine that they require. What are the prospects for self-reliance for Nigeria in terms of looking inward to develop its own vaccines? That's our focus on this week's edition of Health Options. Join us on our Nature Scanner for information on how to reduce high blood pressure the natural way. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah. If you are just joining us, this is Health Options, the program that not only tracks government policies on health, but helps you with the information you need to make informed choices about your health. We are taking a look at COVID-19 and Nigeria's prospects at vaccine production. And to take us through the discussion is Dr. Godswill Okara. He is Registrar and Secretary General, West African Postgraduate College of Medical Laboratory Science. It will also interest you to know there is a one-time president of the Association of Medical Lab Scientists of Nigeria. Thanks for coming on Health Options, Dr. Okara.
Thank you very much indeed.
Okay.
My pleasure.
All right. Before we, dabble into the main topic, which is Nigeria's prospect at, local production of a vaccine with particular focus on COVID-19. We know we're in a pandemic and it is the infant. We are aware of vaccine nationalism and all of that. It's a wake-up call for countries to start looking inward and taking ownership of what, benefits their citizens. So, but before we dabble into that, I decided to take you up on this topic because as a medical lab scientist, you're aware, you were part and you were in the picture of the good old days when Nigeria could boast of, the local production of vaccines such as the yellow fever vaccine. Can you take us down memory lane before we settle down to the main topic?
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. Nigeria had produced smallpox vaccine, yellow fever vaccine, anti-rabies vaccine in large doses, in export quantities. In fact, a past president of the Association of Medical Lab Scientists of Nigeria, the late Mr. Michael Nwachukwu, told us that in the 60s, during the tenure of Dr. Maje Kodumi as the Honorable Minister of Health, that he returned from WHO meeting in Geneva and sent for Mr. Michael Nwachukwu and said, I have committed Nigeria, that Nigeria will produce 10 million doses of smallpox vaccine for use in the West African sub-region. Take a sheet of paper and take pen. Tell me what it will take to deliver on this promise. And he said right there in his office, he itemized all the things that will be needed: materials, money, and personnel. He sent for the permanent secretary. So a very practical way of approaching situations. And all the things he mentioned, the minister went ahead to make sure that they were provided. And he said they produced more than 10 million doses of smallpox vaccine that were used in eradicating smallpox, both in Nigeria and in the West African sub-region.
Okay.
So if we could do all that in the 60s and 70s, you recall that smallpox was officially announced as eradicated in 1978 after a sustained and vigorous vaccine campaign in Nigeria and in Africa in general. We also produced yellow fever vaccine in export quantities. Anti-rabies vaccine, the same thing. All of a sudden, in the name of upgrading facilities and upgrading technology, the vaccine production lab in Yaba was allowed to go into dilapidation. It's really curious that people will allow themselves, for example, if we are using fossil fuel for powering vehicles, somebody comes to float an argument. Oh, fossil fuel is not environmentally friendly. Therefore, abandon your cars, wait until we get electric-driven cars. Or they tell you in the rural areas, forget about your camel, forget about your donkeys as a means of transport. Wait until we get vehicles. This was what happened to our national vaccine production lab in Yaba. In order to upgrade from analog to the digital technology system, we allowed our laboratory to go into dilapidation. And up to today, we aren't producing a single human vaccine in Nigeria. Whereas our colleagues in National Veterinary Research Institute, VOM, are producing, as we speak, up to 18 different animal vaccines in export quantity using the same analog technology and system. So when we talk about vaccine, people make it appear as if it's rocket science. It is not. These are laboratory techniques and laboratory procedures. We are all taught, we all practiced and practicalized, even in training in school. There is nothing out of the world about producing vaccine. It's a question of our nation providing the enabling environment, as WHO has repeatedly called on countries in Africa, because Africa is beset with epidemic-prone diseases. Year in, year out, you hear of outbreaks that lead to catastrophic damage to health and life in our environment. So if there is any country or any continent that should be busy about vaccine production, it should be Nigeria and Africa, and not the other way around.
And of course, if Nigeria gets it right, the rest of Africa
precisely
will follow suit.
Yes.
Have we been able to upgrade the Yaba lab?
No.
As we speak?
Unfortunately.
So it's one infrastructure that is begging for attention.
Yes, that place is under lock and key. In fact, if you go there, you weep for this country. Overgrown with grass. Wow. So it's a pathetic situation. In 1993, WHO, in a resolution, called on African countries as a matter of priority to invest in laboratory systems and manpower, so as to provide, there are these things we call vaccine preventable diseases.
Yes.
And they are up and about in our country.
A lot of them are childhood.
So if there is anything we need to concentrate and invest in, it is the production of vaccine.
Okay, let's take a look at the times that we're in now. vaccine nationalism, I don't know. What do you think is the missing link? Is it about the fact that COVID-19 is a viral disease, and as such, we don't have the expertise, or we can't readily, stand on our own and look inward and come up with a vaccine that we can use to, address our own issues, back home, especially with vaccine hesitancy? Do you think if we're able to maybe get it right back home, that it could address this issue of vaccine hesitancy?
Yes, indeed. It's sad to mention that up to 1 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine expired in Nigeria and had to be destroyed. And that is not unconnected.
Do we have authentic information on that?
Yes. There is information from the agency responsible for vaccine use. So we have a daunting task to address...
Because people are not coming forward.
Precisely. So we have a daunting task to address the issue of vaccine hesitancy. People come up with all sorts of conspiracy theories that have no foundation in science. The issue of vaccine nationalism is only natural and human. When you are in the plane, they tell you, should there be a loss in oxygen, tension, make sure you wear your own mask before you help any other person. It's only natural. So if the Western world and the rich world is losing a lot of their citizens, as we saw, to COVID-19, it's only natural and human that they will do the needful to ensure that their citizens are protected.
Which is a wake-up call for the middle and low-income countries.
Precisely.
So what do you think Nigeria should be doing? What are the prospects for Nigeria?
We have the manpower.
Okay.
We have the skill. We have the expertise. All that is needed is to apply our funds appropriately. It's a question of engaging the people who are trained, who have been trained, whose job, whose function it is, rather than you chase shadow and put the cart before the horse. They make it appear as if it is something out of the ordinary to produce vaccine. It is not. It is not.
Okay, we are trying to, highlight the missing link here, the political will, funding. I was made to understand that vaccine production is very, very expensive. It requires a huge amount of money. Do you think that's a major problem for the low and middle income countries? Is that why?
Well, it's part of it, okay. But the truth is that Nigeria has the resources. We have the money, we have the personnel. It is the problem of applying the funds appropriately. Applying the funds appropriately. We have the money, we have the manpower. We have our people who have been trained in different parts of the world. You hear of universities, polytechnics being set up every day celebrating the opening of tertiary institutions. Going to a tertiary institution, it's not just to read and write and speak grammar. No. We go there to acquire knowledge and acquire skill. And after acquisition of this knowledge and skill, create the enabling environment, provide the necessary facilities to engage the people so trained, to deliver on what they have been trained. That is what it is all about.
Okay, in the course of the discussion, you made reference to Mr. Nwachukwu, your colleague, in the 60s, who was able to, initiate the production of the smallpox vaccine and even yellow fever. You are the medical lab scientist of our time, and we're in a pandemic. Are you telling me that if you, as professionals, of that calling, are called upon now to make this difference that we all seek, that's to, seeing that Nigeria, comes up with its own locally produced COVID-19 vaccine. Do you think you you and your team are capable of taking up that responsibility. If given to you, can you make a difference?
Certainly.
Or what have you been saying? What have you been saying amongst yourselves, within that, cycle?
Yes, certainly so. We have said it time and again. It is the same principle and technology involved in animal vaccine production as well as human vaccine production. Our colleagues in VOM, as we speak in this studio, are engaged in producing 18 different animal vaccines. So all we are saying is provide the facilities, provide the enabling environment. It's unfortunate that I was watching the man that visited the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital and was lamenting about 950 million naira released, COVID-19 funds released for setting up of molecular laboratory. If you are talking of setting up a laboratory, you look for a medical laboratory scientist. But if you carry the money and give it to administrators, stories will be told. If you take 20 million or 30 million out of that 950 million, call a medical laboratory scientist and say, set up COVID-19 molecular lab in this hospital. It will be done. I am telling you, practically, even within a couple of 3 months, we were able to set up a COVID-19 testing lab here in Abuja, in Jabi. So it's a question of call the man who has the training and the skill. Challenge him, just like Dr. Maje Kodumi did to Michael Nwachukwu, before even calling the permanent secretary. Because when you call the administrators, they will come and claim to know what they don't know. And you leave the technical person. He said, well, since you didn't consult me, well, we sit down, look.
Yeah, but patriotism and nationalism is supposed to take the upper hand when such issues come up.
Certainly, you won't get crashed into something you have not been consulted and involved. Setting up molecular laboratory is one of the easiest things for medical lab scientists who have been so trained. I don't see what the big deal is all about. Is it a PCR machine? Is it all the equipment, the gadgets that go with molecular extraction of DNA and RNA? What is it all about? That 950 million will be released to a hospital and stories are being told.
So you occupy a position at the moment that is at the West African sub-region level. What narrative, are we having amongst yourselves within the sub-region in this pandemic?
Yes, in our recent conference that held here in Abuja, we have set up a team. Part of the mandate of the West African Postgraduate College is to advise governments within the ECOWAS region on issues that relate to laboratory and laboratory services. We did that in the height of the lockdown of countries following the pandemic. We sent a position paper to the ECOWAS president and copied the DG of West African Health Organization on the way forward, that continuous lockdown of our countries was not the way to go. Since scientific and medical knowledge has accumulated showing that this is an ailment that is treatable and curable, just like malaria that we have lived with for several years. The same way, let's open up our system, set up molecular laboratories, even at local government levels.
Anyway, we're no longer in a lockdown, and I don't look forward to going into a lockdown.
You see, so why I'm saying this is that our college is in the business of training specialized manpower for all aspects of medical laboratory science and medical laboratory service, as well as giving advisory positions to guide government on the way forward. In our conference, regional conference that ended at the International Conference Center 2 weeks ago. We came up with position papers. We set up a tax team that will come up with practical steps on vaccine production in our region.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. So that's good news for us. We look forward to the expected result from such, proposal or recommendation that you've made to the relevant authorities. Thank you so much, Dr. Okara, for making our time to join us on Health Options. We really appreciate you for your insights.
My pleasure.
Okay. It's time now for us to go over to our nature scanner to bring you information on how to reduce high blood pressure the natural way.
Hypertension is a major issue. It has to do with, more importantly, weight. Issues relating to the genes of the parents, because some have it as something that is transmitted from parents to their young children. Then issue of weight is very critical in issues of hypertension, as it is also critical in most of the ill health. And this is why there's a lot of insistence on BMI, body mass index, weight over height squared. The square root of it must be less than 25 or 29, as the case may be. It varies between man and woman. So if you have the capacity to keep your weight within normal, do regular exercise, eat healthy diet, don't be overweight, eat a lot of vegetable, a lot of fruit, don't eat too heavy carbohydrates, you are good to go. Then, issues of cardiovascular system, CVS, that is the system that controls issues relating to high blood pressure, issues relating to diabetes. So if the cardiovascular system is well detoxified, you can have a very good blood pressure. Either you are on orthodox medicine or you are on herbal medicine. So basically, if you want to have a very good blood pressure, you need to clean off your cardiovascular system. And we have found from our research that natural substances that act as vitamin C has the capacity to detoxify the human system and bring out all the waste and reduce the person in terms of weight and make the person light. And when you are light, you are well. Other ones, just to mention a few of them, Ntalive, our common Ntalive, not expensive, it's in the market. It has the capacity, it has a lot of phytochemicals that can reduce weight, that can take care of tuberculosis, that can take care of a number of very, very difficult diseases. In line with that is also celery, parsley, that has a lot of vitamin C constituents. Zobo is there. This has been well documented in a number of international studies of herbal medicine. We have blood thinners like garlic, ginger. These ones have the capacity to thin the blood. Then we talk about leaves like kale, K-A-L-E, kale, broccoli, ugu, bitter leaf, a number of them. When they are properly well combined, they boost the blood, and in an attempt to boost the blood, they boost the immune system. And in boosting the immune system, they increase the oxygen content of the blood. And you know, these things are all interwoven, interrelated. And even the oxygen they are piping through the window to deal with COVID issues. Once these things are boosted, you take these things and your oxygen level increases. When the COVID depresses it, this one goes up. And in doing all this, it helps in the body system to maintain the pressure. It produces nitric oxide. The nitric oxide has a role to play in high blood pressure because it has the capacity to expand the blood vessel. It cleans it up, expands it, and once it's expanded, blood flows freely. The pressure that would have been exerted by the flowing blood that leads to high blood pressure would have dropped. And by so doing, blood pressure is well managed.
that is Health Options for this week. Remember that you can watch this edition and other episodes on our YouTube channel. Email us for your comments and contributions at healthoptions@nta.gov.ng. Remember to keep staying safe. My name is Rabi Abdullah. Bye for now.
For anyone who values financial security and ultimately desires financial freedom, creating at least one additional stream is no longer a luxury. It has become a necessity. Diversifying your income stream is crucial to protect yourself and your family against the unavoidable ups and downs of economic and industry cycles. Because of the financial risk that come from relying on one source of income, such as a job or a business, consider creating at least one or more additional streams to generate cash flow. The benefits of having multiple streams of income include peace of mind, because you know there will always be money to spend. Also, you will earn much more than you currently earn from your day's job. Therefore, you will live bigger and better. Your additional income streams can be active, passive, or a combination of the two. Some may pay you for doing something that you love, active, while others can provide income for you without having to do much of anything at all, passive. Here are multiple streams of income opportunities: selling information in hard book format, selling information in the form of downloadable ebooks, making money from referral opportunities, training classes, consulting opportunities, dealership opportunities, design opportunities, manufacturing opportunities, investment opportunities. The list is definitely not exhaustible. To create wealth, you must make investment that will create dependable streams of income flows, independent of your main source of income. The time to act is now. Begin implementing this practice, and before you know it, within months, you can be enjoying the benefits and the financial security and freedom that comes from having multiple streams of income.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
NTA. You can't beat the rich.
This is the network service of the NTA.
If your sum total is a mustard seed, then nurture it, water it, grow it into that tree in your rainforest. We will be highlighting one of the prevalent social issues in our society. That we love and trust, and by people that are strangers. I am your addiction, that suction. I suck you in while you spill out your insides. I ask what is on your mind. I am that update, that tweet, that comment, that story. Your life seems to depend on me. As you awake, you reach for me. In the shower, I am close. I make your face-to-face conversations an endangered species. As your face is buried in me, I am Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. I invade your world, permeate your sphere. I will connect you on the virtual and virtually disconnect you from the real. I am. Where are the members of this committee? Have they been abducted by aliens? Aliens is code for social media. Whatever happened to going over the agenda of a meeting in hard copy, talking about the issues face to face, thrashing out stuff eyeball to eyeball? Let me tell you what's happening. Wale wants to Skype from Trinidad. Mr. Coca wants to FaceTime from California. Francis wants a WhatsApp video chat from Vancouver. And Mecca wants to Zoom meeting from Orlando. Whatever happened to sitting down next to each other and observing body language unaltered by technology? Virtual meetings are taking over. Human relationships are dying a slow death. We have a ton of virtual friends and no actual real friends. We belong to networks, communities, groups, all virtual. Did you know that spending more than 2 hours on social media can adversely affect your mood? You know what? This one got me. Because we're all guilty of checking statuses on WhatsApp, checking how many likes our photos have gotten on Facebook and Instagram. Every 30 seconds, we're tweeting about the issues. That's the crux of our show today. Stay tuned. Welcome to Our Reality with Sky. On today's episode, we will be highlighting a prevalent societal issue, the cons of social media. And joining us in the studio today is Paitha, who is an artist by night and a digital marketer by day. Welcome.
Thanks for the invite, Sky. I feel really honored to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell us a little about what you do.
Okay, so what we do basically is markets, but then we do it digitally. So
wow.
It's like an online avenue to market businesses, and that includes social media.
Okay.
And as part of it, they are a lot more involved in it. But then, regarding the discussion for today, let's just leave everything on social media.
Okay.
All right.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. So when you were saying, what do you do really when you say social media? Do you manage people's Instagram pages? What do you do? Just tell us a little bit about that, and then how much time you spend on social media.
Well, what we do for businesses on social media is, for companies that are finding it hard to manage their profile
Right.
on social media, especially Instagram, which enables easy access for business to get to reach their consumers. Yeah, we manage their account, manage their profile, create content for them,
Nice.
and help them ensure that their business gets to reach their targeted audience. So, and that might include doing adverts and all those type of stuff. But there's a lot involved in it, so I'm not going to divulge.
Oh, well, we'd like to know. Okay, if you won't tell us that, tell us how many hours you spend on social media every day.
On the average, I spend about 15 hours.
What?
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Well, yeah. Well, like, I'm working. It's
Right.
work for me, so, and at the same time, it's fun, of
Fun.
course, but like, anything that's work is really not fun, so, for real. So I do it for work, it's not for fun.
Okay.
But then I catch fun when I'm doing it, so 15 hours might sound like too much, but like, it doesn't really even, it even feels like it's not enough, but then what I'm doing there makes a lot of sense to me, so that's why I have to stay there, because that's my community, that's my hub.
But is
that's
it?
where I work. That's like my office. So
Okay.
if I tell you that I'm in the office working for 15 hours, you wouldn't fight me for that, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Because I'm doing my job. So
Right.
I'm on social media doing my job for 15 hours, and is that bad?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. But people talk about the cons of social media. Trolls, cyber bullying, scams, that sort of stuff. What do you have to say about that?
I have to start with the fact that social media is relatively new to the human existence compared
Right.
to every other thing.
Mhm.
But then it takes time for them to understand how this is work. It's alien to us, most especially.
Right.
So I can understand the quote-unquote hate or the disregard for social media and other stuff. So, yeah, there are this negative stuff you mentioned, but then do we not experience these things with human beings too? Like you mentioned in your poem, that or was it in your poem? I think at the beginning of the show you said spending
A lot of time
On
on social media. Yeah.
you said 2 hours of it?
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
With on social media can affect your mood. But like,
Adversely, yeah.
does dealing with humans for that amount of time not affect your mood as well?
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
And at the same time, anything can affect your mood for real. So it's your environment basically.
Right.
My point especially is that social media is not as bad as it seems. I know I use it to my advantage.
Right.
Is any other person using it to their advantage? Are they just there to be spectators, or
Right.
they are contributing something to the social media community?
Right.
When I'm on there, I'm working, and by that I mean that
You're being productive.
I'm being productive. I can't tell you that 100% of the time I'm productive. Really, there are times I just go there and catch phone too.
Right.
But then I go on social media. I check if to measure my metrics, because you have to calculate. You have to see the product of what you are doing on social media. Like I check my engagements, and by that I mean my likes, the comments, on Twitter, the retweets, the shares, and so on and so forth, and basically the engagement.
Right.
And I use that to measure the productivity of what I put on there.
Right.
So if I'm managing somebody's business now, if I'm managing somebody's business account on social media, these are the things I use to value to weigh my results rather.
Right.
So that makes sense to me. I can understand that social media could make you